All right. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Kari, and we are back with more live guest interviews. I've decided to go ahead and continue this series because I was just having entirely too much fun with this, getting to talk to folks, hearing about their stories, and oh my gosh, people are just so inspiring. I was getting inspired by it, and I just was like, I got to keep doing this. You know, it's just entirely too much fun for me not to do this, and I just love learning about other people's lives and what they've been through and just oh man, I love this entirely too much to not continue it. So I am continuing on here. We're kicking off the 2022 season with special guest Cedric Edison. We're gonna wait for him to join us here. There he is. All right. Hi, Cedric. Let's get you pulled in here. How do we do this? Oop. Okay. Hold on a second. My computer or my phone. I'm having a problem with my phone here, Cedric. Hold on. I'm trying to get you invited. Did you get my invite to join? It's showing that I invited you, so
There we go. There we go.
yeah. I
What's
couldn't
up?
tell if I was malfunctioning with working on my phone or what was going on there.
Well, my laptop wasn't working right, so I'm like, we'll just lock it in on the phone. So
Okay.
good to go. Good to go. How?
Oh man, it is good to meet you. Thanks so much for coming on here and doing this. So just, the backstory is I want to encourage people here to pursue their dreams and go up against the things that they think are going to be too hard for them to do. And I've just been loving reaching out and talking to folks and hearing their stories of what they've been through and what they've overcome. And just, I just love this so much. So I appreciate you answering my call and coming on here to share your story.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's
Thanks.
like I feel like it's my duty now.
Well, how about we'll let you introduce yourself a little bit, just give everybody an idea of who we are talking with today.
All right, everybody. What's up? What's up? Appreciate y'all joining us, watching it whenever you are. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, at least you're not horizontal and being viewed, right? Yeah,
That
but
is
look,
one way to put it.
right? Um, so, I'm just a normal guy. I'm not Superman or anything like that. I'm from a little small town in Texas, Beaumont. Grew up in gangs. Somehow managed to escape that life and make my way to the Marine Corps. Took some of those habits with me. Got kicked out and life started, right? Because I thought I was less than. What am I gonna do? I got kicked out. Oh my God! And so I never went for more than a minimum wage type job. Ended up being homeless, and I was living in a hotel kinda at the time, and well, before that, it's so much. It's so much. How I ended up homeless, though, I was working for a Fortune 500 company, thought I had made it. That was success. Having to wear a suit and tie to work, the American dream. I'm just going to do like mama said, sit down, retire, right? Put a little bit of money up. But life has this funny thing it does, like when you're growing, of slowing is gonna just throw curves at you. And it threw the biggest curveball at me one day. They tell me to go to the hospital. I do. they say I'm in the middle of having a major stroke, and if they don't have surgery within the next 24 hours, you guys wouldn't have been talking to me. My aorta, which is the main artery, was about to rupture. And you don't survive that. Learn how to walk. So what happened? I forgot to pay a credit card bill, my corporate credit card bill. I was at work out of recovery for about a month and got fired. And I'm out of everything, no job, no nothing. And so I ended up having to sleep in the backseat of my car. And so fast forward, I ended up going to life coaching, health coaching school, started doing that, getting clients. And then I wanted to make a bigger impact, became a professional speaker, wanted to make a bigger impact. And so I helped co-author a book, Fearless the Anthology. And now I'm just everywhere telling my story, just trying to let
Awesome.
you know.
Awesome. I'm super excited to dig in here because it is such an incredible kind of journey that you've been on here. So I want to go all the way back to the beginning there. What I think I heard you say was because of your experience in gangs and getting kicked out of the military, that you kind of got to this place where maybe you weren't thinking so highly of yourself. Can you, tell us a little bit more about how you were feeling at that stage of your life?
Yeah. So it was strange. So my mom had moved us to Louisiana, and in the book I talk about that a little bit, where I felt my good break. So I was just being a bad kid, but what happened was her boyfriend, I was that kid, that teenager, I didn't like him. And I remember him telling me I wasn't going to amount to anything.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
but that was all the fuel I needed, because I'm one of those like, okay, hold my beer, watch this. And because he had sons, and they were at that time, in my opinion, they were dumb. Like, I'm keeping it 100 with you. Like, that was my thought. Like, man, they dumb, they flunking. I'm getting A's. I'm just fighting all the time. So I'm hell bent on becoming a Marine. But being 18, still in the gangs, like, I'm getting letters, I'm calling home, like, yo, when I come home on leave, like, I'm gonna come kick it with the set, I'll kick it with my gang, my family. And then it was just like, whoa, I can catch flights. And so I started thinking gang minded while in the military, just doing the wrong things,
Mhm.
Oh, we got access to guns. Like, I don't get searched on planes. This is pre 9/11. So I could catch a military flight and ship, like, all kinds of stuff. But when I got kicked out, simply put, I was choosing the wrong words.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is I now understand words control what I call our tea, the tea that we're sipping. So our thinking, our emotions, and our actions,
Ooh, that's good.
right? So so what happened is Marines, we believe we're the best. It's like Navy SEALs, a Marine, right? In our mind. And so I get kicked out. And it's like getting fired from the most elite job there is. And it's like, holy cow, I have to put this on my resume or not. And how am I going to account for this? Right? So life is forcing me to tell that story. But at the same time, I'm not even trying. I just accepted those words, like, nobody's going to want you. Don't even go for the good job.
Okay, that's what you were telling yourself at that point.
Yep.
So how did
Nobody was
you,
telling me that but me.
yeah, how did you get past that then?
I didn't. I got kicked out. Once I got kicked out, um, I went back to what I knew, because now I'm grown. I was 20 something at the time, 22, 23 at the time. And, I can't go back to mom and them, but I need money. So let's go to what we know. Where's the drug dealers? Right? And I did that all the way up to my 30s. I had a nice little run. And but what stopped it was my drug bust. is I was looking at 25. Well, they started out with 50, but then they dropped it down. I was looking at 25 years and I had never been in trouble ever. And I'm like, okay, God, you get me out of this one? Man, I won't even sell a Tylenol, sir. Like, just get right. And he did. And so then I had to figure it out because now I was afraid. I was like, man, if I just made this big old deal with God, I gotta hold up my end. What's gonna come next? Um, and so I finished probation, and then I got something like I started at a low position in a call center, but I applied that. I still had that Marine mentality, moved up super quick, and but from there, then I made it in my mind.
Yeah. So I just want to cycle though. I heard you say this too, that you went back to what you knew. And I hear that so often when people, when they're thinking about making a change or trying something else, it's we go back to what we know, we fall back on that's familiar to us, right? It's our comfort zone. Even if we might have an inkling that maybe it's not the best thing for us, it's familiar. And so we fall back on that. So that's what I heard you say you did too. At that point, you fell back on that. And sometimes it just takes that little boost, that little kick to get you out of there. So good for you. And then holding yourself accountable though too. When you made that decision, you said, "All right, I made this bargain with God and everyone. I'm going to hold myself accountable and move forward." So good. Congratulations. Good for you
Thank you.
on getting out of that. So now you're at a call center, you're working your way up, you're applying all of those skills that you were using in this other area, and you're like turning them into this thing that you can say, I can use it here too, right? Like I
Yeah.
can do this for something that's not going to put me in jail, and that's working out for you. So where are you at now in your journey?
Now, man, it's pretty cool. I'm part-time working. I'm not a full-time entrepreneur yet. But how I look at it, man, my little wins, and I'm not in the backseat of my car. Family's good. I've gone from full-time to part-time and getting ready to transition. Got a #1 Amazon bestseller. Yeah, I mean, professionally speaking now in the college market, um, going back and just being that guy that I never had for the underserved community. I didn't even know that existed in the college market until I learned about Trio and Upward Bound. I was like, y'all are my people. Niche down for what? I found it.
So being the person that you wish was available for you, right? We hear that a lot, is I'm going to be the person that my younger self needed.
That's why I do what I do. That's why I wrote the book, why I might write more books. And it's really just to help people avoid those pitfalls or up level their life. And now I'm doing it, getting ready to roll out a course. The course will be coming out in March, but I'm doing a free challenge on journaling, because that is what really, really saved my life, was journaling. And I just want to be the dude from the hood that can let everybody else in the world know, like, man, a pen and paper can change your life. So
So
that's
so good, so good. So when you're journaling, what was it? Was there one thing that you really connected with when you started journaling and said, "This is the game changer for me. This is what I want to share with others"?
um honestly, it was probably about 6 months in when I realized it, because I had just heard about it just through studying and learn, YouTube University and all of that. And it was one of those things like, yo, let me give this a try. And really, because I was like in this new redefined masculinity, and so it wasn't a diary, it was a journal, because
Okay.
man, diaries, that's for girls.
Hold on, I lost my audio. Can you still hear me? Oh,
All right, that was
there
the
you are. Okay, gotcha.
and so yeah, I came unplugged there. I When I went back and read my journal, um, I was able, and this was after health coaching school and life coaching, I was able to pinpoint some of the areas where I needed to get back to my basics. You know, it was like, it became almost like, you remember those connected dots pictures? Well,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of became like that. And when I was reading my journal, it was just drawing the little line. And then I saw the picture and it was like, okay, we need to work on frame around all of that stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
and so,
And that honestly, that's such a good point to make too, and I'm glad that you said that, is when you write things down, you can identify those patterns that you might not recognize in yourself when you see it on paper and it starts coming up over and over again. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I'm a big fan of writing things down as well, because identifying those patterns, we don't even know it sometimes until maybe somebody tells us about it, or until we see it in our own word written back to us.
for
So the
real.
picture's coming clear for you now. So where are you at now?
So now, man, still journaling, um, and just becoming a better presenter, honestly. Um, Transparent moment, full disclosure. Um, I, I I felt that break again when George Floyd was killed. Um, I felt that, and the fear of COVID. So all of 2020, and I was just transitioning to speaking, and I'm one of those like, I don't believe in trying to do many things, and so I was like, yo, I'm a table coaching. That's my comfort. If I need to, I can be comfortable, but let me direct everything here, and just made some financial decisions. COVID hit. I'm like, oh crap, right? And then George Floyd, and wanting to speak about it, not knowing how to even speak about it. I stayed broke for 2021, emotionally, mentally. 2021, I was healing, and now 20 is game over. It's game over. Just getting better, and now I'm back to coaching because I don't believe in bleeding on people, you
Yeah.
know. Uh,
Oh,
so I had to catch the bench. Hey, take me out, coach. Take me
I
out the game.
I appreciate that. So I appreciate you so much for doing that. First of all, for taking care of yourself, for recognizing what you needed to do to take care of yourself during that time. Um, I mean, it was hard for me. I can't even imagine, like I'm just over here kind of on the sidelines observing, and I appreciate you so much for being able to sit back and say, here's what I need to do to take care of myself during this time. Um, and I want other people to hear that message too, that you do not always have to be charging forward. You don't have to say, I'm going to continue. I'm going through this tough time, but I'm just going to power through it. Like, it's okay for you to take some time, back it off, take a rest, and say, this is what I need to heal right now. I need to heal because, like you said, you don't want to bleed on others. You're not helping others if that's what you're doing. That was just such a good and powerful message. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. But man, it's easier said than done. And especially like if you're a healer in a service-based business, it's hard because we're always regarded as that strong friend, right?
Mm,
And so it's really easy to fall into one or two categories, the imposter syndrome, or you're just overwhelmed looking at the whole forest, right? And that's where it happens. We just keep trying to go through the forest where we just, let me take a step back and just now look at each individual tree. And then there's the money piece. Well, I still have to, and then the fear kicks in. But you're only like, that's what I found. I wouldn't have been broken for that long in 2020 had I not tried to keep chugging along. And then it was finally like, bro, like, let's get back to the basics. And I reread the journal. That worked. What's working? Oh, oh, okay. All right, cool. Now, you know, and it's okay to not be okay. And
yeah.
that was the hardest thing for me to actually accept. but I'm healed now because I realized, one, I was lying to people, you know, essentially, because I'm like, yeah, man, take care of yourself, self-care, woo, ah, ah. And here I am, wounded, like, we're in a war, like, dude, sit down.
Mhm.
Sit down. But yeah, that,
That's
that
right. That's right. We cannot take care of others if we're not taking care of ourselves. I
yeah,
mean, you can't show up the way that you want to show up. You're not going to be able to give your best to people if you're hurting yourself. So it's such a good message, and thank you for sharing that. I love that so much. I also heard you say though that in this time you said what was working for me. I'm going to go back. Journaling worked for me, and I know that some people might be afraid to go backwards. They feel it's a step backwards to say, I'm going to go all the way back to something that I did 10 years ago, but really grounding ourselves and, saying this worked for me. I'm going to hang on to that. That's okay too. And I love that you found that again and we're able to reconnect with that. So, um, I just so much good stuff here. Like I have to remind myself that I'm interviewing you and I'm not just sitting here like just sitting around
right.
nodding. Like this is so good. Thanks. So okay, so where you're at now, then, how do you feel about the space that you're in now with the journey that you've been on from where your story started?
Shit, 1 second, I'm like, man, look where we at. Like DJ Khaled, like, yeah, another one. And then some days I'm just super grounded,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm really diving back into my basics, you know. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
just reread the Four Agreements, just things like that. So I'm being more present now.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think I see Misty is over here laughing. Anybody who's been on an entrepreneurial journey, I think we've all been on that roller coaster ride where, like you said, one day you're up there like high heaven screaming your own praises, and other days you're like, okay, take it back, hold on.
and I'll be honest, like I'm getting comfortable. Like I have my goat cape on, but I feel like I'm the young Peter Parker right now. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, but just getting comfortable with, I am great,
Yeah.
and not being afraid to tell the world, and just reintroducing this new me, like this new
Mhm.
me. It's just, that's where I'm at now. Like, hide your kids, hide over that little meme, because I'm coming. I'm coming. If you're not trying to change, get out the way. Get out the way.
Love it. I love it. I love it. So for other people then who might be wanting to make some major changes in their life too, what do you have to say to them? Anything that you want to leave them with, like a big thing if they get nothing else out of this?
Man, a couple things, and I see one of my co-authors join too. And hey, everybody else that's joining, but in her words, because these three words gave me a whole brand that I'm building now. So Chandra Deneen, I appreciate you, but these three words: do it afraid. Whatever it may be, whatever it may be, because that's the key. And y'all go check out Fearless. Hey, I'm a creator code. Get everybody's email. I'm gonna create a code for your tribe to be able to get a discount on that book,
Awesome.
because it's going to teach you and the understanding of what fear is, because it's not the absence of fear. It's just being able to make a productive choice in the face of fear, you know, um, because that's where the growth is gonna come. So do it afraid. And a part of that, what can help you do it afraid, is to understand this: good enough and done is better than perfect and pending, right? So Is it good enough? Yes. Go. Grow. Go and grow. Go.
Yep.
Point blank, period. And I got a bunch of sound bites, but it would be do it afraid and understand that good enough and done is better than perfect and pending. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Yep. I love that though. Do it. Good enough and done is better than perfect and pending. That's such a good way to say it because, things sit in our drafts. They sit in the back of our minds, concepts that we just never actually go to fruition because we think it's going to be too hard or too complicated, or we're not going to be able to get it just right, or we just keep tweaking and tweaking when we could have been done, moved past it, got it out there, gone on to the next thing. So I love that so much. Do It Afraid. It's a great message. Tell us more about this book, what it's called, where we can find it.
Fearless the Anthology. Right now you can go to cedspeaks.com. You can't miss it because it's going to be the first thing that pops up when you log on. You can go ahead and grab it. Hey, make sure you get in my world, especially if you're down on this writing journey and journaling, because I'm going to have a 7-day challenge that's going to be starting February 1st. Absolutely free. I'm not one of those that charge for any kind of challenges, just to get you guys to putting that pen to paper and starting that power. And we're going to do some other things because the journal got my words for the book. It's going to be a whole lot coming this year. So you want to kind of get locked in if you're trying to do some things. And like I said, if you're not trying to change, get out the way. Because we coming and I'm trying to change lives. So Ced Speaks. Now the book, 8 different authors, we all told our story. Simply put, what we did here is we wanted everybody to know how we each individually, what fears we faced, how we dealt with it, what we learned from it, and how you can move past it. We have from relationships, divorces, to sexual assault, and still striving, you name it, identity, mental health diagnosis. When I say we threw the kitchen sink in this bad boy, we did not hold back. You're going to see some very, very vulnerable and transparent stories. And I think after you read it, don't do this. Although you're going to feel like you can, I don't recommend it, but you will feel like, damn it, I can run through this wall. Don't recommend it, but you will feel like that.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, Ced Speaks, everybody give Cedric a follow on his Instagram accounts, check out his website, go check out the book. Thank you so much for coming on here, talking to me, sharing your story, letting us know what other resources we have. I love the journaling thing. February 1st for the challenge. Love it so much. So
I'm gonna put you on blast too, Kari. I'm gonna have to get you to come tell your story on my podcast. Come hang out.
I will totally do that. I love to talk, so I'm like over here. I'm always trying to like zip my mouth up and say it's not my turn to speak. But
now I want to give your platform, give your flowers. It's the man. Okay, yeah, and shameless plug here, but yeah, go and follow the Man Cave Experience.
okay.
Be on Instagram, YouTube. But yeah, come hang out in the Man Cave with me, and we can just chat.
Yeah, hey, lift each other up, support each other. That's why I do what I do. I can follow as many people as I need to follow. So thank you, Missy, for the comment there. I'm so excited again. Thank you, Cedric, for coming on here, sharing your story. I love this so much. It's going to be posted on my Instagram. It's going to go up on podcast. Other people, I want to hear your story. I want to get your message out there. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And yeah, we've got somebody on here. Follow I'm a Survivor podcast. I was a guest on that last week from Misty's page. But yeah, support each other. I mean, that's what we're all here to do, right? It's just support each other, lift each other up. So thank you again, Cedric. Appreciate you being on here. And do it afraid, everybody.
That's exactly right. Appreciate you for having me.
All right.
Bye-bye.